Hi everyone, it's Gabe here. So I wanted to talk a bit about what I've been going through and how I feel about a couple of things that has been going on in my life lately. Specifically, losing somebody. A lot of people may already know this, maybe not so much outside of my Facebook, or I don't think I even mentioned this on Tumblr even, but I lost someone, specifically a trans brother, to suicide. I'm not going to give any names or anything, but most of you already know who this is. And while a lot of people like lose themselves to suicide every day, it made me realize that wow, this is still happening despite making great strides in the trans community, whether it be political. But then when you hear about stuff that's like, Alabama banning trans people from using any bathroom, while North Carolina is like you have to use the assigned gender at birth. It's a little disconcerting, like how the United States is working right now. So with like the suicide rate, it's like wow, it's really not making things any better. Now I'm not saying like the suicide was caused by being trans because we don't know the full details. All I know is that this person was in trouble and I feel really shitty about it because while there's only so much you can do, like in a support group and stuff, I still felt very shitty because as a person who runs the group, I feel somewhat morally responsible for like everyone in it. So I've been feeling a lot of like guilt for that, and it made me realize that this is something that we should talk about, not just shy away from it and say, here's some resources, here's how it can help. Now, while that is great, that we should talk about this a little more. And I think I mentioned this last year in the Trans Day of Remembrance because every suicide basically amounts to that one day where we're like honoring these people who we've lost to transphobia or suicide or basically unaccepting people. It just had a very bad taste in my mouth right now. So I was like wondering like what could I do to like make sure like these people feel like they're at least loved, because I obviously can't stop them from doing this, but is there a way to make it to like buffer the risk of suicide? Because according to the transgender survey in the nationals in 2011, 41% of transgender people have attempted suicide. Now I myself, I don't have that much experience. I did have suicidal thoughts, I just never attempted it. But a lot of people aren't as lucky as I am. Like while my parents were very accepting, a lot of people weren't accepting either, but they still remained that way while my parents like came around after a while. So that being said, I'm just wondering like what could I do? Like I don't really have that much of a platform. I mean, I have a group that has like almost 1,500 members in it. And I also have a YouTube channel and I also write, so within those means that I'm around in, like what could I possibly do? And that's up for debate, like for everybody in the comments to let me know like what I could possibly do. Right now I'm finishing up an article that I'm trying to write for FTM magazine right now, and hopefully it gets accepted about this thing, because in loving memory of my friend who unfortunately I lost to suicide last week, I want to make sure that like people know where to get resources. That's basically as much as I can do at the moment without like police interference or having people's addresses, which I think is way too like invasive to ask for a Facebook group. So these are things like I'm just trying to do everything within my means and not feel too responsible for like what somebody else did. I mean, there's only so much you can do, and I want people to know like if you're dealing with somebody who is having suicidal thoughts, please, 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 please try to have them seek a professional, because there's only so much you can do before they probably will do the deed or something like that. And it all culminates with a lot of people transitioning with the sense of loss, because people transition too. Now I don't mean like physical transition or transitioning in the sense of like someone's like transitioning and the family has to adjust, but they have to adjust the loss of someone close to them or someone they remotely knew a little bit, or someone's presence that they're used to seeing. So yeah, that's what I wanted to talk about today. These are basically my thoughts of like jumbled in my head right now, and like I'm definitely feeling a lot better. It's something I had to talk about in therapy. It's like but anyways, I hope you guys have a good week. It's the first week of May. Oh my god, next month is my birthday. wow, I'm gonna be 24. So yeah, I will see you guys next week, and I know the wait for that's gonna suck, but I will be there. Will you?